Well, greetings on this snowy day. I know you're all missing being with me in person in class today. It's 1 o'clock, so I thought I'd do this recording at the time we would ordinarily meet in class. And I'm sure you're all wondering, what's going to happen since we missed this day and how we're going to catch up. And I've actually had a couple of emails from people asking me about things. So I want to make this recording and tell you what my plan is. You can see here I've got the learning content in Blackboard up, and all the Word Final stuff was due on Tuesday, and I'll be looking at that and calculating averages and things like that later, and I'll send you email when that's all finished. But you see that here on March 5th we were going to do chapter 6, and then next week is spring break. So when we came back from spring break, we were going to start working in Excel. So what I've decided to do is that I'm going to put off chapter 6, and I'm going to do chapter 6 when we finish Excel, because I want to get through Excel. I don't want to start an Excel chapter on a Thursday and do it Thursday, Tuesday. I want to be able to do each Excel chapter on Tuesday and Thursday. So when we get back on March the 17th, we'll start working on Excel chapter 1, and I will tell you exactly then when we'll pick up chapter 6. We'll probably I'm debating about as the learning content now stands. I have planned that we would do Excel and PowerPoint one run after the other. I'm thinking that I might put the last chapters of Tech in Action in between there to give us a little break. But I'll have all that information for you, and with a new set of dates and new revised learning content when we return on March the 17th. But what I do still want you to do is that Shopping Wiki. I mentioned it in class last week, last Thursday, but I didn't have a chance to explain it to you, and said that I would talk to you about it in class today. So I'm making this recording to explain to you what I want you to do. And this assignment, this wiki assignment, which is here, we're going to look at it it's here in week 8 for chapter 5. I want to explain to you what I want and show you how it works, and this will be due when we return on March the 17th, because I want to give you some time to actually shop and get exactly what I want you to have. So I'm going to click here on week 8, and you see that. And you'll see that if you looked at this before, I've changed this file a little bit. But down here at the bottom in Wikis, okay, there's a wiki rubric document, and I want to open that. And I'm going to save it in downloads. I already have it there, so it's going to be, and I'm going to open it. I'm going to open it. It's a Word document, and I want us to look at it together. It's a little bit different. It's just a little bit different from the one that was there before. It still says grading rubric, but it's not really a grading rubric anymore. It's really a worksheet. And so what I want you to use this worksheet to describe the computer that you would purchase if indeed you were going to buy a new computer now. And the funny thing is that I thought I was going to have to buy a new computer now, because my laptop stopped working last week, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get it to turn on again. And so I was away for a few days, and when I came back, I thought, well, I'll give it one more try. And lo and behold, I turned it on, and boom, it started. And then I noticed that I always keep my laptop plugged in, and I noticed down down here in the taskbar that when I clicked on the plug, it showed that it was plugged in, but it said it wasn't charging. And then I discovered that actually my computer had run out of juice last week, because I didn't realize that I had it plugged in and it wasn't charging, and I was just kind of using up all the power in the battery. And so once I got it going today, I realized what happened. I unplugged it and plugged it back in another receptacle, and lo and behold, the whole thing worked. I just had a little problem with my security system with the virus protection. I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it to scan like it should. And I have McAfee, and surprisingly, I called McAfee, and they got me all set. So I thought I was coming home to have to buy a new computer, but lo and behold, I don't. So anyway, but I want you to shop, and what I want you to do is not worry about money. Because you can spend as much as you want, because this is like, it's kind of like my IT lab. It's virtual shopping, and we're not going to really buy it. And secondly, I want you to think about what you want your computer to do. And then I want you to buy a computer that will do that. So this is not about who can find the cheapest computer. It's who can find the best computer for themselves at a price they're willing to pay. And so what you have to do is fill in all of these items. And if you think about it, so far, when we've talked about computers, we've talked about hardware. And when we talked about hardware, we talked about the central processing unit, we talked about memory, we talked about storage, we talked about the monitor. And you see all those things are here. What kind of CPU did your computer have? How much memory does it have? How much storage does it have? What size is the monitor? And I've added one that wasn't on the old one. Is it a touch screen or isn't it? Because I realized when I started to shop that was a real concern in terms of price. It was more expensive if it had touchscreen or if it didn't. Then we talked about software, and so we talked about the operating system. So we need to know that. And then we talked about other kinds of software, and so I added it here. Does your computer would it come with any other kinds of software? So for example, was Microsoft Office included in it? Did it have Works, not Office? Did it come with virus protection? And any of those things you should list here. So and of course, where did you find it? Now, you can shop in the newspaper, you can actually go out and look at these, you can shop online. So I want to know where you found it and how much you would have paid for it and what kind of computer is it. And then tell me about, is it a desktop, is it a laptop, is it an all-in-one? And then what kind of central processing unit does it have, the brand, and the speed. And you'll see all this when you see these advertised. How much memory does it have? How much storage? What operating system is loaded on it? Now, even if it's a laptop, you need to tell me the size of it. And then, yes or no, does it have a touch screen? And you can fill those items in over here. Okay, so once you get this all filled in, then if you just click up here, this is a Word document, remember, and it's a table, and then just copy this. So copy your table, and then come back to Blackboard, and now click on the link to the wiki. A wiki is a page that everybody can work on together. It's a collaborative space, and I'm not using it in this case exactly like that, but you know, Wikipedia is a wiki, and everybody can change anything in a wiki, and anybody can change anything in Wikipedia, which is why professors don't really trust it as a scholarly source. So if I click on the name of the wiki, and you see, when I noticed today that Donna had already posted hers, and she did a really nice job. This was the old version, which had actually points in it how I was going to grade it. And you'll see that most of the items are the same, except I did add here, is it a touchscreen or not. So you're going to come here, and you're going to create a new wiki page. And it's going to ask the name, and use your name as the name of the wiki page. And then here, just paste here that the table. And so the nice thing, I'm going to cancel this, but the nice thing about it then is everybody will be able to see what everybody else bought. And then when we get to class on Tuesday, the 17th, we're going to take a look at this and see what everybody bought and see what the costs were and talk about this a little bit. And you see Donna did a very nice job here. She bought an Apple or a Mac. She bought a Mac Airbook. And you know, she's got a very nicely described her central processing unit and how much memory she has. And now, honestly, I guess this software is okay. I'm not familiar with Mac's operating system, so I know they used to be given big cat names, but I guess maybe now they're giving them numbers. And she's got the monitor size, and if there was any additional software, it looks like it didn't have any additional software here, because this is just a description of the computer, which you can put in or not, but it's nice to know, since it's a laptop, how big it is and how much it weighs. And then when you get that in, you just click submit, and when you come here and do this, take time to look at other people's. And I really want you to think about what you need your computer to do. Now, if you know that you're a games player, then buy a computer that would really play those games to their optimum speed and look. And so if you're a games player, you're probably going to pay a little bit more for a computer than somebody like me, who just wants to surf the web and basically use Microsoft Office. So I really want you to give some thought to what it is you do, and buy a computer that will suit those needs. And then fill in the form, copy and paste the form in here, and you'll be done. So that's what I wanted to tell you today, and I wanted to demonstrate how to use this wiki. And I also wanted to tell you that now the quiz for chapter 7 is available. I'm sorry, chapter 6. It is available, and you can take it now if you want to. And I will let you know what the actual due date for this will be when we return and meet together again on the 17th. So you don't have, I try hard not to give an assignment over spring break, and I'm not really giving an assignment over spring break because it's Thursday, and you've got Thursday and Friday to do it this week, and then Monday to do it afterwards. But I think it's kind of a fun assignment, and I hope that you will all participate. It's not a hard way to get a grade that will improve your standing perhaps, and have some fun while you're doing it. So that basically is what I wanted to let you know today. If you have any questions, why, send me email. As I said, later on, probably tomorrow or maybe next week, but before we meet on Tuesday for sure, I will go back to my IT lab, and I will calculate the average for those projects, the AB projects for chapter 1, 2, and 3, and I'll bring that average over to Blackboard. I will bring over your grades for capstone and for the skill-based final exam into Blackboard, and then when we get back on the 17th, we'll start fresh using Excel. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me. I'm checking email as I always do and have since we met before. And I won't see you before spring break, so have a wonderful spring break. I certainly hope spring break is really that, spring, and all this nasty snow will start melting, and we'll be able to have some nice warm weather. And I'll see you in about 10 days. Have a good spring break. Bye.